Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Thanks for joining me today. I'm gonna get myself ready. I turned the camera on and I started pulling some products to use for my makeup routine. And I realized that a lot of these products I purchased because I was influenced. Yes, as a content creator here on YouTube, we do get influenced to purchase product, whether it's someone else's video, someone's review, photos, swatch videos. Those can be pretty mesmerizing and can get you to purchase a product. Packaging, all that comes into play when we're deciding whether or not to purchase a product. I buy a lot of makeup, and some of these things I realized I was actually influenced based off of a photo, something on social media, seeing different angles of the product, not just the brand's own photos, seeing it from someone else's perspective kind of gets me thinking maybe I should try these products, maybe I should buy it. Or the fact that a product is so popular that it's constantly selling out, coming back in stock, selling out again. It gets me thinking, this has got to be something that's great if it's selling out, if it's popular. If it looks that good, I need to have it too. So I pulled some of those products, some of these things you've never seen before in a video. I got some recent products in the mail from orders that I've placed. I did do a video that I filmed for my Sephora haul try-on. Sephora sale was something that happened very recently. I'm not sure if that video is posted. If it is, then you may have already seen it. If not, it'll be a video coming up soon. Some of these things did not arrive in time for that filming, so you'll see some things that can be purchased at Sephora, some drugstore things. It's just a mix of things, so if that sounds good, take out all of your makeup goodies and let's go ahead and get started. I'm starting off in the normal order that I go about doing my makeup. So I always start with complexion. If you're new here, I do my makeup first, like complexion base, and then I go into eyes. The foundation that I want to continue testing is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur foundation. I was very much influenced by the photos, the claims. I've seen some videos of Huda herself on Instagram talking about this product. And of course, her new launches, she's always pretty active about talking about the products. I did use it the first time without a primer. There is a primer that is sold to go with this. I did not purchase that because I didn't want to feel like I can only use this with that primer. I wanted to try other things. So I did wear this yesterday with the Milani Blur Out primer, which is a very good drugstore primer that smooths, blurs, fills in the pores, and kind of softens the texture of the skin. But I also want to try this foundation with my Rare Beauty primer. This is a favorite of mine for a very long time. I'm actually almost completely out of this little travel size, but this is the pore diffusing primer that helps kind of fill in pores, makes the skin look really nice and soft, and it makes it feel incredibly smooth. So I'm going to focus this primer on the areas that I get oil production, which is through the T-zone, over the nose. The chin was an area that kind of got really dewy on me with this foundation. We're kind of tweaking things a little bit today and seeing how I feel, because I'm just still not quite sure about this foundation. I do like the way it blends, the way it looks. The match was pretty good, and I'm just gonna kind of scribble on just a little bit. I do like using my damp beauty sponge. This is one from Real Techniques, and I just kind of push that right over the primer, kind of push it into the skin so that I'm not kind of buffing and disrupting the primer, because I really need that primer to do the pore filling, the smoothing, and make the skin look softer so that this looks its best over it. The foundation blended really nicely over the Rare Beauty primer. That's the first time that I put those two together. I like the way this foundation goes on, how it blends, how it looks. The finish of it is really pretty, very natural, but it's kind of like having a filter built into the foundation. I think my biggest concern is longevity, where this foundation doesn't necessarily continue to look this way. Let's say 7, 8, 9 hours later, I look pretty dewy where I need to do some sort of blotting. It's not the worst foundation, and it's not the worst quality about it. There's a lot more good than negative. But I just feel like I haven't quite figured out if I'm really truly satisfied with it. It's pretty and I like it, so I have to just, again, continue playing around with it. So stay tuned. I will kind of let you guys know how it works out for me, if I end up actually enjoying it or if I end up returning it. But we're moving on to concealer. I'm going to use one of my favorites, the Makeup by Mario Surrealskin. I wear the shade 140, which is a nice kind of brightening shade with a hint of a kind of peach tone to it. I'm going to do a little bit of this. Same sponge, just blending this in. I'm going to take my BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose N16 brush, which is a really great brush for getting right in this inner corner with the concealer. I'm just using the brush itself with no product on it to help me blend right in here and to help me right in this inner corner and get right underneath the lash line. BK Beauty is going to be having some sales, and they've got some really great brushes. So I think it's something to consider if you're in the market for brushes, you're needing to expand your collection, or maybe start from scratch and you don't know where to start. I'm going to link my favorite brushes in the description box, and also in the YouTube has like an area underneath the screen where it shows you products that you can click on, and it takes you directly to that. So that's probably the best way to go about doing it. The bottom of the screen, you'll notice that in a lot of videos, it'll show you all the products that we are affiliated with, so you can easily shop those products. So that's the best way. And I've been using this brush so much to kind of do a light layer of concealer on my lids for primer, or just to cancel out any redness, discoloration, to help blend. And this brush really does give a very airbrushed look to the concealer under the eyes. So I really do like it, and it's perfect for around the nose. I did a video all on this brush set, the Nikki Pro Artist Set. So if you haven't seen it, check that video out. I am now going to set my concealer with a powder that is very brightening, that truly does make the under eyes so bright, completely makes it look like a filter. It's blurred, it's smooth, and it's a really nice powder. It's the one from Fenty Beauty. It's in the shade Lavender though. That's the brightening one. It's the lightest one in this range. And I'm just basically, what I'm doing is pairing this foundation with some of my go-tos that I've used time and time again, that I know work and wear well for me throughout the day, to see what the difference is pairing a new product with it, and if that foundation is actually going to stay with me in my collection. So I'm going to take a little bit of this powder, set under the eyes with a powder puff. And I typically put quite a bit of powder to do that baking technique. I've been doing it a lot more often than I used to. It was something that I did every now and again, but it really does make a difference in longevity. And that's important to me because I don't really touch up my makeup very much throughout the day. Typically do my brows. I have them already done prior to filming because I'm filming today, but normally when I'm not filming, I would do this and then go into brows and let it sit, gather the next products that I want to use, and then dust away the excess. So I'm not wearing this much all day long. While that loose powder is sitting and baking, I'm going to move into the next step, which is a little bit of bronzer. And I pulled from my drawer the Haus Labs Velvet Bronzer. I used to use this every single day. I have enjoyed this formula so much. I have sung its praises over and over again on this channel. This formula is wonderful for bronzer. The blush formula from Haus Lab is also very, very good. This is one of my favorites, so I pulled an oldie but a goodie. I'm going to use my Sephora Pro Powder number 59 brush to blend this in, and I have often mentioned how easy and simple this product is to use. Yes, it's a bronzer. How hard can it be? But the formula matters for the tone, the quality of the formula itself, how it blends, how it goes over product that's already applied, whether it's powder, foundation, concealer. This always looks smooth and more velvety looking on the skin, never looks patchy, never looks cakey. You can use a fluffier brush than this, something more dense, and it always looks good. A really, really nice formula, and I love it so much. And I guess it's kind of fitting that I am using this product in this video because I was influenced by the founder, who is Lady Gaga. I mean, who doesn't like her music, right? To purchase these products and buy stuff from Haus Labs. Like, it's Lady Gaga. Let's go ahead and take a moment to talk about some other products that I was influenced to purchase and try. I have not tried any of these products. This one specifically, this next one I'm going to show you, I have not even opened to see it in person. This was something that was extremely popular during the Sephora sale. It sold out, came back. I put it in my cart. It sold out of my cart. I had to sign up to be notified again. It was one of those hot ticketed items that everybody was purchasing and nobody left me one, okay? So finally I was able to order it and I got it towards the very tail end of the sale. I was influenced by the fact that not only was it so popular and selling out, it's from a brand that makes good quality eyeshadow, but the photos on social media from various different people, content creators, and just everyday consumers that purchase it and share it, it looks so good. Like, I had to have this product, okay? It's the Icy Nude palette from Huda Beauty. Okay, let me just talk about it. I have not opened this, and I'm dying to look at it in person and see it and capture that on camera to be just authentic and real, because I do get influenced. Like I said before, that's what this video is all about. I get influenced, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not as good as I thought, right? It's kind of bittersweet because Huda did say on her Instagram that she is no longer going to be making larger palettes. This is the last large palette for the brand. What does that mean? I don't know, maybe singles, maybe some smaller quads, smaller palettes, I hope. I feel like Huda Beauty makes good formula with her mattes and her metallics, the microfine glitter that's included, the range of textures and tones that she puts in one palette is really great. On the back, it says, Icy Nude is taking staples to a new level. This modern wearable palette is packed with matte eyeshadows in shades of nudes, browns, grays, and pinks, and contrasting against icy and sparkly pinks and silvers, a multi-chromatic white, and a platinum biodegradable glitter eye topper for that extra attitude. So if that doesn't sell you on it, I don't know what will. So let's go ahead and open this for the first time on camera. I cannot wait. This looks incredibly beautiful, but in person, it's different. You see something online, you're like, oh, wow, that looks great. You see it on a website, you're like, I gotta have it. But when you see it in person, it hits different, right? And it convinces you to either go for it or not. And so I'm beyond excited. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, this is actually, okay, stop. Stop, Huda. This is really, really pretty. Wow. I knew that when I purchased this, this was going to be kind of icy, and those cool tones, which we've seen a lot of cool tone products lately on the market, just a lot, but there's actually quite a bit of everyday wearable shades. It's not quite just silver, grays, something that may not be for every day for someone. Wow. Let me show you up close. By looking at this, I'm impressed. I'm very much impressed with the icy tones. It's not all silvers and all grays. You have the lighter kind of white, an icy kind of light baby pink, a shade that kind of shifts. It looks icy and white, but shifts blue. Lots of tones and textures. This one here that is called Diamond Dew is kind of a little bit more raised than some of the other ones, and that one has a more chunky texture. She has a formula like that in the Pretty Grunge palette, that when you feel it, it kind of feels creamy. It's almost slightly crumbly, but it does adhere to the skin on the lids and it stays on, but it is so impactful with that intense metallic glitter. It's everything just kind of thrown into one shadow. It's a shimmer, it's a metallic, it's a foil, it's a glitter, it's everything just packed into that one little pan. I do have some other products that I was sort of influenced to purchase, and the first one that I'm going to show you is the Hourglass Unreal Liquid Blush. I've seen this so many times on social media. I was going back and forth between two shades. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to use this because I don't know the direction that I'm going with this palette, but this looks so beautiful and the packaging is so cute. Look at that. So cute. The other product that I was influenced to buy is the blush from e.l.f, and I'm kicking myself for this because let me explain. This is the new Camo blush from e.l.f. They came out with 3 new shades. This is the shade Boldface Lilac. I did a video on this. I ordered them during the early access, posted my video on it. I didn't buy this shade because it looked more purple on the e.l.f. website. And I wasn't sure because I've never purchased a lavender or a lilac blush before. And it just looked too purple. I'm like, I'm not sure. That's not going to look that good on me, I don't think. But then I kept seeing it in different photos, different swatch videos, and different, lighting, someone else's camera, someone else's perspective. And I thought, that actually looks like it could be wearable. And so I bought it. So I freaking bought the color. Like, I should have just bought it when the product launched so I can include it in that video, but we may get to use this today. The last blush item that I was influenced, I've seen these on the Catrice website, are these blush duos. You get a cream and a powder. I ordered these off of Amazon. These are the Pleasing Pink and the Peach Passion were the 2 that I ordered. So we'll have to play with these a different day because these are quite warm and I may be going that kind of icy cool tone route. So again, another product I was influenced to buy, and thank you Amazon for always shipping so quickly. Go ahead and dive into this Icy Nude palette that I cannot wait to put on my eyes. I'm going to start this look off with a shade just to kind of set my concealer a little bit. And I'm going to go with one that is closest to my skin tone. And for me, that's going to be the shade called Cold Plunge, which has a little bit of a kind of yellowy type of tone to it. It's this shade here in the second row. It's the last matte shade. I'm going to use my BK Beauty A503 brush to apply that from my lash line all the way up to the brow. I'm having a hard time deciding what I want to do. I kind of want to go into some of these kind of dusty, kind of mauve-y type of shades. High Life and Lavish. I will show you what those look like. This is the High Life shade, and then the bottom right here is Lavish. So this one's a little bit more cool. This one is a little bit more of a dusty pink. So let's go into this one here, which is, again, High Life. And I'm going to start applying this to my crease. This is going to act as a transition shade for blending other colors later on. It's also going to start creating a more defined shape to my eye and giving it a little bit more dimension. So I'm just continuing to build this up a little bit, taking just a bit more on the brush, adding some more, blending, and building this up. And it is a nice buildable shade where you can tell that you're adding more and layering the product. So it's a really nice sort of formula that's matte, but it doesn't look dry. It doesn't look like it's kind of skipping. It doesn't look too chalky. Really nice, very smooth, very kind of satiny, silky feeling. I switched to a Sigma E57 eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to pick up the shade called Faux Fur. It's in the top row, and it's also a matte. It looks like this shade right here. I'm going to press this right on the outer V. And at the moment, the only thing that I'm concerned with is using this brush to place the product and get it where I want the color, which is this outermost edge of the eye. I will go back and blend that, but I am doing just a patting motion just to deposit that color in this outer V area. And then I'll go back in with a smaller crease brush and blend those edges out. Now that I've got that color placed, I'm going to switch to an A502 brush. This is also from the BK Beauty brand. It's a very small, very wispy brush. Nothing is applied to it. I'm going to start working this brush back and forth and softening out that edge. I'm not concerned with the line right here on my lid. We'll cover that with something else in a minute. I'm just more concerned about blending right out here where it meets into the transition shade. I'm now going to switch to a BK Beauty 204, which is the smudge brush, and I use this every single day. This is an absolute must-have. I'm now going to take those same shades that I use on the top lid. I'm going to start working on my lower lash line. So what I'm going to do is start with that Faux Fur first, which is that dark brown. And I'm going to run that really close to my lash line. And I'm just going to rock that brush back and forth. Another BK Beauty brush that I absolutely love is the A504, and it's itty bitty. It's a small kind of miniature size crease brush. This is part of the Angie Hot and Flashy collab. I'm also going to run that same sort of crease transition shade, which is called High Life. So I'll show you that color again. It's the second one in the top row here. And I'm going to use that shade to blend out that darkness that I just applied to the lower lashes. Let me just take a moment to show you some swatches of some of these colors. Do you see this? Okay, stop. Huda, take all my money right now. Look at that. That is so intense. So these two are the Diamond Dew and the VVS. So those are the two that seem very soft, very kind of chunky a little bit, and you will see that when you swatch it. You'll see some big chunks on your hand, but they do apply nicely and adhere to the lids. This formula is something she's done before in the Pretty Grunge palette. So that's those two there. And they do look similar, but I will say that the Diamond Dew has more silver in it, which is this one here, my middle finger. And then this one is just a little bit, just got a little hint of pink to it. And it kind of has also that shifty quality. So that's another thing. It's like, I mentioned that earlier. It's putting all of these different textures and finishes and just kind of fusing that into one pan. Very interesting and so incredibly beautiful. I mean, hello. And then those other two, that's that icy light one. The first one in the top row that looks white, but it shifts kind of blue. And then when you swatch it, it looks blue and icy, But then when you turn your hand, it turns to like a kind of pinky lavender shade. So incredibly beautiful. I don't wear shades like that every single day, but I'm gonna start because that is incredible. And then here is that shade, which is a really nice kind of warm tone shade. A nice kind of pinky type of shade. Stop. So this is that platinum. Oh, that is platinum. Look at that. That is like liquid metal. Okay. And then gold standard is that gold shade. This one's a little bit lighter. I'm not a huge gold fan, so I'm glad that there's only one shade that's like that because it's not a shade that I like to wear often. And then bling. Okay, bling is a little bit different. Bling is the second shadow in the bottom row. So this one here. This one feels very dry and you can feel the gritty sort of particles because it is a glitter. It's a straight up glitter that's been kind of pressed into the pan. Let me see if I can show you that. It's a glitter that's been pressed into the pan. So when you put that on, you do feel, and you may want to kind of press this in. And that's the only thing that I would say I'm kind of disappointed in, because that is a shade that you definitely want to put a glitter primer underneath, or like put this over something that's kind of like a tacky base, because this I can see making a big mess. So I probably won't use that as often because you feel the grit in that. That definitely has quite a bit of that glitter texture. So I'm going to start with the shade called Aurora, which is that kind of pinky shade, that rose gold there. I'm going to use my finger to apply that. Just kind of press that onto my lids. That is incredibly beautiful. Wow. So I'm going to pat this color right over that line to soften the look of that color. I'm not a huge fan of pink shades, like icy light pink colors. And you get that kind of icy light pink vibe because of the way that metallic finish is. But the actual tone of it is more of like a kind of rose gold type of shade. It's very interesting, very different and unique. And as I'm looking pretty closely, I can see there's just very tiny hints of some sparkle that may have fallen off of my finger as I was applying that eyeshadow. Something to note, maybe it's a good idea to do your eyes first and then do your complexion-based products. I typically don't do it in that order, but sometimes depending on the formulas of eyeshadows, it might just be worthwhile doing that. So it's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me. I'm just going to continue going on with my day, but it's something to note. I'm going to just layer just a pinch more on this eye because I felt like this side had more. So I wanted to try mixing another shade in this palette with this color that I have on my lid. So I haven't decided if I want to do it on the center of the lid or inner corner. I think I'm going to go inner corner just to play it safe and see how that looks. I have the product applied to my brush, and the shade that I'm going to use for this is called Iced Out, and it's the lightest one in the palette. And I'm going to start by pressing this right in this inner corner, and I'm going to lightly build this up. This color is best to be applied with your finger, but because I have long nails, I'm not going to be able to reach very well in this part. So I'm going to just kind of lightly tap. Now for the brow highlight, I think I'm going to go in with the shade called Avalanche, which is that matte white. And I'm going to apply this to the high points of my brow bone, so like right in through here, and then use my finger to tap that out. The final steps for this look is some eyeliner and mascara. I am going to tightline, and I'm going to use a really dark, rich brown shade. So the Tiramisu from the Sephora collection. This is the 12-hour colorful eyeliner pencils. And then I'm going to go in with some mascara, and I think I'm going to try the Exagger Volume Mascara again. I've been playing around with this. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's move on to blush, and I think I'm going to go in with the Boldface Lilac Liquid Blush from e.l.f. This looks so pretty. Look how beautiful this looks. You don't need a lot, so I'm going to swipe off some of that, and you just need a dot, just one dot. And the e.l.f. Duo Complexion Brush is my best friend. I love this brush so much. I actually did order another one. So I'm going to use this to, whoa. Okay. This is not as, okay. I was not expecting this to pull more pink, right? Like, it looks kind of lavender and lilac, but it's not intimidating. It did in the photos at first, and I thought there's no way. There's no way I can pull that off. But this is actually stunning. Like, what? Why did I do this to myself? Why didn't I just buy this when it launched? Like, seriously? This is gorgeous. I am so happy that I was influenced to buy this specific shade of blush. I would have never thought to pull off a lilac tone of blush, but this is so pretty. Like, absolutely an incredible formula to work with. It's pigmented, it's easy to blend, it is not intimidating even though it has so much pigment. The tone of this is so wearable, very approachable. And now, the last thing is a lip combo. I have been obsessed with this specific lip product since I ordered it. I got it very recently. It's new to my collection, but I have been wearing it every single day. It is the absolute most perfect pinky beigey nude to wear with any lip liner, whether it's a cool tone, whether it's a warm, a brown, something light and pink. My Lips But Better type of shade. It just works across the board with everything. It's those new Fenty gloss sticks. Let me swatch it on this hand that I don't have any glitter to show you. But that's what that looks like. It is the most perfect beigey pink. I'm going to start with a My Lips But Better type of shade for lip liner. And for me, that's the Pillow Talk Fair lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm just going to line my lips first. Now for that Fenty. Let's see how this looks together. I love this formula and this color. Goes perfect with that lip liner. Lastly, I want to add just a touch of highlight, and so I thought let's try the Lumi Lay Glass highlighter sticks. These are also new from L'Oreal. I do like this formula. It's a little bit more of a balmy kind of emollient formula, but I want to take just a little bit on my finger and just hit that high point of my cheek. I feel like this tone will go really beautifully with that blush. Oh yeah. Yep, we're going to be glowy today, but this is so pretty. And it's like a glow that's there, but you don't really see the product sitting on the skin. It just melts right into the skin. Really nice, and I've grown to like this formula more the more I use it since posting my video review on it. I was kind of like, oh, it's good. It's balmy, it's glossy, it's kind of tacky feeling. But the more I use it and use a small amount, I've actually grown to really like this formula. And this is the finished look, you guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section what you think about this look. I really like the way everything turned out. And like I said before, sometimes we are influenced to buy products and sometimes it works out. And there's times where it doesn't. I am very thrilled that I have had a positive first experience with that Icy Nude eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty. I definitely want to continue using it. I like that fun pop of color that we did, kind of a last minute twist that I really feel like makes this look a little bit different. A nice little element, a nice little surprise, just to kind of go outside of the box. This all looks very normal every day for me that I would wear these tones, these colors. But that addition in the inner corner just really takes it to another level for me. And that blush was incredibly surprising. I know we didn't get to use the Hourglass blush, the Unreal Liquid Blush, but we'll do that in a separate video. And I will share with you my thoughts, of course, as always, on what I think about that formula and if it's actually any good, or was I influenced to buy something that just isn't gonna be great. Thank you so much for being here, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look as much as I did. I had so much fun sitting down with you today, getting ready. Let me know what you want to see next. Are you buying any of these products? Did you buy them already? Have you tried them? What are your thoughts? Let's chat. Let's just kind of have some conversation in the comment section. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I post every Tuesday and every Friday, and you can also follow me on Instagram. I do post there periodically. My username pops up here on the screen. Take care, you guys, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.